What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another episode of Too Many Toys Jake. Today we're going to be working on the Delmont. If you haven't seen the last video on it, we got it running. We took it for a nice little drive. We were supposed to do a couple other things like an oil change, the gas running from the tank, etc., but we ran out of time. Today is a beautiful day. I got a t-shirt on today, no more sweater, so I figure what better way to spend the day to work on the Delmont, do some stuff to it. We're gonna do an oil change to it, a couple little things. We're gonna clean the outside, try and get it running off the tank. I actually had a few ideas, so we're gonna get to that. I've done a couple other things off camera, but don't worry guys, it's nothing big deal. I cleaned just the front half of the car. It was super bad. It was super bad. I couldn't handle it anymore. We'll take a look at it quickly. As you can see, the carpet's cleaned up really well. Even the seats are full of cat hair and stuff like that. They look like the back. The dash and everything came out great. Door panels. So I could only do the front half of the car because actually the back half I couldn't get to because for some reason these doors won't open. So that's one more thing we're gonna have to take a look at. But today we're just gonna do an oil change, clean it up, make it look brand new. Actually, like I said in my last video, I've had a couple offers on it, so we're gonna clean it up today, try and get ready to get moved on to a next owner so we can make some room for some more projects. Just wait till you guys see what I have in store in the next little while. Let's just move right into it. Let's get onto it. We're gonna get it running. We're gonna bring it over to the house and we're gonna get started on it. All right, so we're gonna try and get it running. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, it's been a little while. Just make sure nobody's touched anything. All right, what we got? Perfect, the battery's in here. Also, a couple other little things that I did while I was off camera. I took off all the rest of the heater core lines, so they're just open there. Everything looks good. I put more sealant down on the rad so it doesn't leak. I cleaned up a couple lines and things like that just to clean up the engine bay, so we're good there. So we're just gonna attach the battery now, and then we're gonna put on our fuel tank and we'll see if she starts. All right guys, so we got the battery all hooked up. I figured that if you take out the coolant overflow and move it for these cars, a 20-liter jerry can fits absolutely perfect. I mean, what's the point of even running off the tank when you got that? Just don't worry about that. We'll fix that after. So let's see if she starts up. I haven't started in about, I'd say, a week or so. Let's see if she primes. Let's see if she starts. Let's see if we have anything. Well, maybe. Give her a couple pumps. And let's give her a go. Good, nothing. Nothing. Let's go take a look what's wrong. Just figured out this little wire here that runs to here apparently triggers the starter, so when this is on the ground or the positive, it doesn't want to start. So we are gonna have to fix that. Just remember that. So now let's try it again. Give it a couple pumps. It's gonna take a little bit for the fuel to get up to it, but see if she starts. It seems like we might have lost prom, guys, so. There we go. After sitting for a week, that's not too bad. Sounds good. So we're gonna take her over to the house now and we'll see you when we're there. All right guys, so good news, we made it. It actually ran good. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do an oil change. So let's just jump right into it and get it done. Another thing I noticed as well, which is pretty cool, is it's not leaking coolant anymore. I just drove it around the block a couple of times and it feels really good. All right, so this is what we're gonna use today. We're gonna use some Castrol GTX 2050. In the summertime, we like to run heavier weight stuff because these older cars like to run warm typically. If you run thinner oil and it gets really warm, it'll be super thin. It's not the best thing for your car. That's what we're gonna be running. Plus, it was on sale. It was the cheapest thing. I think it was like 22 bucks or something for 5 liters, which is pretty good. It's like half price. And then we just got ourselves a quicker state oil filter. Nothing too fancy because technically this car's been sitting for so long. So what you're gonna wanna do is do an oil change. I mean, if you really wanted to put this in, run it for a couple hundred kilometers or a couple hundred miles for US guys, and then change out it again, just so you get all that dirty oil out of here. So we're just gonna throw on cheaper oil filter, and we'll go from there. So that's what you guys see what we're using. Let's get to it. All right guys, so let's jump into it. We got all the tools we need. We got our oil filter wrench, which is usually good to have. They're better than sticking a screwdriver in there. Sometimes they're really tight. Oil drain pan, and then we got our jack. This is a little 3-ton jack. Hopefully this is enough to lift this car, because that motor probably weighs close to 3 tons. These cars are really heavy. But we're gonna lift it up on the cross member and then put some jacksons underneath of it and see what we got. Let's get to it. Oh, it's actually going up a lot easier than I thought it would. I thought this little jack would be having problems. Alrighty, so we got up in the air. Always give her a little shake, just to make sure the jack stands aren't going to move out on you. And remember guys, do as I say, not as I do. And this is all for fun, so don't try this at home. Let's get underneath and see what we got. Let's take a look while we're under here anyways. Everything seems pretty solid. Look at the floors. Holy moly. The floors are solid on this car. Absolutely solid. The frame has a little bit of rust issues there and there. The back half looks clean, but I cannot believe how solid those floors are, guys. That's unreal. Look at. So this car's got to have original 56,000 miles on it. Unreal. We came here to do an oil change, so this one seems like it's probably going to be pretty easy. We got a drain plug here and an oil filter right here. Actually, it doesn't look like it's been done, not recently, but in the past little while. It's got a fram filter on there. So actually pretty clean under here, guys. Actually pretty clean. This is definitely a lot cleaner than I was expecting. All right, let's get some tools out and let's drop this drain plug and see what we got for fluid. Always remember too, it's good to let the car run for a little bit to get the oil warm so that it comes down to the bottom of the pan. We did that already. Oh, unreal. One of the easiest ones I've had to use. And this time we're going to try and not drop the drain plug in the pan. And here we go. Well, it's definitely very black. Doesn't have any shavings or anything in it, which is good. That is a very big plus. Got some thicker oil in it, but it's actually a good sign, guys. There's no shavings, no nothing. It's black, so it's probably been a while since it's been changed. But it's coming out well, so awesome. That's a great start. We're gonna let this drain and then we're gonna get to the filter. Now usually Hercules or the Hulk puts these on, so we'll see if we can get this one off by hand, but I'm probably gonna have to use the torque wrench. That's by hand, torque wrench, whatever. So let's get to it and see if we can get that one off. What we're gonna wanna see when we take this off is oil come out of it. That means that there's oil pressure going through the system, which is good. If this is dry or it doesn't have a lot of oil coming out of it, that means that the oil pump isn't really working or isn't working at all, and that's not good. So let's see what we got. Oh my. I must say, this is the very first car I have had, maybe ever, or in a very long time, the filter actually wanted to twist off. So someone's definitely taking good care of this car, guys. That is awesome. And look at that. So that's what we want to see when we take off an oil filter. So that means that there's oil pressure going to the system, which is excellent. Now your hand's obviously going to get a little bit dirty, but we want to take these frams off. I don't like these frams. Their paper filter inside the actual filter itself is junk and known to gum up and all this other stuff. So these junk, throw them away. What I like to do, if you can, I just like to take a rag and just clean it all up. Make sure it looks nice and brand new. Just so you know there's no gunk or anything, or there's nothing that's gonna cause you to have a leak around your seal. That actually looks mint. So let's get the new filter on there. So He-Man, Hercules head on there. It's good. It's not coming off. Let's throw some oil in there and start her up and see how she sounds. Now we're just gonna put some oil in it and fire her up, get the oil pressure up, and hopefully that'll be done for that. Usually on these old cars, what you're gonna want to do is take out the breather, whatever you have going to your valve cover, and put your oil in through your valve covers. On these Buicks or Oldsmobiles or whatever you want to say, I'm not too familiar with, some older cars probably have these as well, but with these ones they have an oil fill tube, which makes it super easy. So we're just gonna fill it up there. Now the funny thing is I have an oil change to do on this. Oh, what we got going on here? An oil change to do on this, an oil change to do on my truck. The Oldsmobile, the Buick needs an oil change. Everything needs an oil change. It's gonna like this nice thick oil too, guys, especially sitting after so long. Nothing left to do except start her up. We might have a little bit of noise in a little while because I live across from a school and I think they're doing some outside activities. So if you hear that, just bear with me, guys. I appreciate it. So let's start her up and see how she sounds. Always remember too, guys, to check the oil after you fill it, just to make sure. Just give it a wipe, put her back in, take it back out. You know the drill. And as you can see, we're full. It's got a little bit of oil, old oil in there still, not much, but it looks like we're good. So let's start her up and we'll be done the oil change and we'll move on to the next thing. You guys hear how easy this thing starts now? Unreal. So we got no leaks under there, which is good. It actually sounded like the valve train quieted up a little bit, which is actually what we wanted with the thicker oil, because this oil's probably been, you know, it's so thin, there's so much fuel in it from people trying to start it and get it running and blah 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 blah. So let's check the oil again, see what we got. Perfect, guys. Perfect, right on the full line. Just what we want. Awesome, it's all done. So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and then we're gonna try and get fuel from that tank to the front of the car. There's a couple different ways I figured out we might be able to do this. We have a clog somewhere in the line. The actual, the tube that runs into the tank from the pump that brings it up, it might be gone, it might be deteriorated, whatever. I know also back when I was working on this stuff in high school, sometimes it can create a vacuum and they can actually cause a bubble or something in the line that will cause it not to bring the fuel up to it. So what you can do is you can actually pressurize the system. You can put air in the tank and blow through the tank, hold a rag over it, and then that should push the fuel, pressurize the system and push it out of the line in the front here. So we're gonna try that. And then if that doesn't work, I have an electric fuel pump, so we'll just hook it up to that line there and the front, and then we'll try and see if it'll pull from the tank all the way to the back. It's a big enough pump that it should, but you never know. So now that the oil change is done, I'm gonna clean up and then we're gonna flip the car around and then we're gonna work on that, just because the air hose won't go that far if I don't. So let's do that now, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. We're just gonna flip this car around and so we can get it to the back. See how easy this thing starts. This car, to be honest. This thing's kind of fun. This thing will make a great cruiser. It's too bad that the body's so shot. Yeah, but somebody will have some fun with it. So I got the pressure on right now, building up some air. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put pressure into the gas tank, and then we're gonna see if we can get something out of this again. We will see. I'm hoping we do, because I really don't want to take the tank out. if it comes down to it, I'm gonna sell it just the way it is, because who knows what's gonna be happening with this, if it's gonna be a derby car, parts car, whatever. So as long as it runs, that's all that matters. But we're gonna try to get it off the tank, because that'd be a lot better anyways. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off. Oh, the smell of varnish in there. So we're just gonna stick a blow gun in here off the compressor. We're gonna wrap a rag around it so no air escapes, and then we're just gonna blow, and then we're gonna, hopefully that'll push all the air bubbles, whatever, out of the line itself. Hopefully there's no like lock or anything, and then it'll push all the fuel to the front and out of that that line. And then once we do that, we can hook up the fuel pump line to that line and hopefully run it off the tank. Let's get everything out and we'll see what happens. I'll get you guys to the front, and then you guys can tell me if we're getting fuel or not. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our blowgun, we're gonna stick it in, and then we're gonna take our rag like this, just plug it, and then push like that, pressurize the system. So I don't have enough hands to do all that at the same time video, so I'm gonna push you guys up front, and then you guys are gonna tell me if we're getting any fuel. Let's cross our fingers and hopefully something comes through. Alrighty guys, let's do it. Well, do we have anything yet? Oh yeah, look at that guys, all the fuel came out there. That is exactly what we wanted. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw a fuel filter on there, and then we're gonna run the line from the fuel pump to that line there, and then hopefully we can get it running off the tank. So let's get to it. So I figured, you know what, before I put a filter on it and just clog that filter up immediately, what we'll do is we'll just spray some more air through the line. And then what I did was I took a piece of line, I just put it on there for now, and then I put it into a bottle so that I can see how much crud is coming through it, etc., and then see how bad the tank really is without, you know, spending money and just clogging up a filter. So we'll do that first, and then we'll see what we got. So I'm gonna do that right now, and then I'll show you guys after how bad the bottle is, or how good it is. We'll see. All right guys, so if there's anybody out there that said this was staged or this car was running beforehand, I'll give you a show what came out of the gas tank or out of that line. So this is what we just pumped out. Look at all the crud in the bottom. So this is another reason why I like to do this first instead of just clogging up the fuel filter, or the fuel filter, because you're just wasting it anyway. So good to do this. We'll just throw this out. We'll keep putting fresh gas in it until we see a little bit more clear, and then that should be all cleared out. Luckily enough, there isn't too much settlement, just a little bit. So if you absolutely have to, the filter should catch it and we should be all right. So we are going to put some fresh gas in it now, and then we're going to hook up the line to the fuel pump, and now we're going to see if we can get it to run off the tank. Cross fingers, guys, cross fingers. Here we go. I took that line off. I just primed it a bunch of time. I probably put 5 or 6 liters through that one little bottle. Just clean out the stuff as much as I can. I added some fresh fuel. We cut down the line that goes to the fuel pump. I just left it loose, so I'm going to put a clamp on it shortly. But what we're gonna do now is see if she runs off the tank. Hopefully it does. We're gonna probably see this fuel filter go black or really dirty if we do. And if we do, that's an awesome sign. Anyways, that means that the car's running off the tank. So cross fingers, let's see what happens. Let's see. Might have to tighten that clamp down a little bit, but doesn't look like anything yet. It's not yet, so I don't know if she's working yet, guys. There's a little bit of fuel going in there, but not too much. Might have to leave it running and pressurize the system while it's running to get that fuel through. We'll see. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Yes. 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 That means she's running off the tank, guys. That is awesome. That's exactly what we wanted to see. It's coming slowly, but it's coming. So it probably just doesn't have a lot of fuel pressure as it is in the tank, sucking that all up. But she's working, guys. She is working. Now she's filling. So now we're probably at the proper fuel pressure as well. You know, it going right to the tank, going before right to the jerry can. You don't get the same proper fuel pressure, so that's good. We got it running off the tank. It's not leaking there. Awesome. So we're done that. We're gonna wash it out and clean her all up. We'll talk to you guys soon. All right, guys, so we are back. It is sunny out. I need to get my sunglasses, but we got the car running off the tank finally. Awesome. Yes, so happy. So we ran a line here up to the fuel pump. We pushed all the old cruddy fuel out of the tank into a bottle. It's all done. So it took a little while for the fuel filter to actually fill up. I guess, you know, it still needs a little while to fully get all the air bubbles and everything out of that line. So that's all done. I had it running for a little bit just to get all that crud out of there, and it actually runs great. So what we're going to try and do is now we're going to start it up, we're going to move it, and then it's time to give this old girl a wash. As you can see, it has been a long time. So we're going to clean her all up, make her look all nice, and then we have time, we're going to try and get in the back and clean the back up, try and get those back doors, because I still haven't been able to open those up. So we're going to do that now, and let's get to it, guys. Let's make this thing look brand new. Remember, she's running off the tank. She's running off the gas tank now. Give her a pumpage. Probably don't need to, but one pumpage. And just like that, she starts right up, and it's so quiet. We might have to do something about it being so quiet, though. I mean, that muffler might have to come off. What do you guys think? Big block like this shouldn't be so loud, but I mean, the car being so nice and quiet, it's actually kind of nice. Anyways, we're gonna move it around now so I can get it washing, or so I can get it in a spot where I can wash it, and then I'm gonna get everything out, start giving it a wash, and at that point we'll be right back, and you'll see this thing when we're starting to wash it. Alright guys, so we're done with the initial wash. It looks absolutely amazing. I'll give you a quick little peek. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to clean the windows. I'm going to do the tires. I'm going to do a little bit of the chrome. And then I'm going to show you guys the end product, but it is already looking absolutely mint. Well, as good as it can anyways, guys. So I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm going to clean up, do my stuff, and then we'll see what she looks like in the end. See you in a little bit. All right guys, so we are all done the wash. It absolutely looks amazing. I can't believe it. We did a couple other things while we were off camera, just so you know, it didn't take up too much time, just little things I'll show you guys. But are you guys ready for this? Oh my, look at how different it looks. It is so much cleaner, guys. All that moss and mildew and everything is just gone. Got the wheels all nice and clean. We'll take this out after and give it a good look over, but it just looks absolutely killer. And And we got the rear doors open. This one here was not very fun. It was stuck. It took me about half an hour to get this one open, but now it opens and closes nicely. And then the same thing with the other door in the back there. So that means that we get to clean all of this. And I just mean, look how disgusting it is back here. So we are going to do that, get that all clean. We're going to match the front. The front's already done, so we're going to do that. I also did a couple things just under the hood quickly. We put the air cleaner back on. We fixed one of the wires for the starter here, kind of a quick disconnect, do not steal kind of thing. A couple other things to clean up a little bit, so that's all done. So now I think what we're going to do is we're going to get on cleaning the back, and then once the back is all done, we're going to go through it once more, and that should be the end of the episode. So stay tuned. We're going to get this back done, and let's see what it looks like. All right guys, so it has been a few hours since the last time I seen you. We have done a bunch of work on the Delmont, so instead of telling you about it, I'm just going to jump right in and show you, and you guys will be surprised. Here we go. There she is, guys. What a massive difference. So we washed it all, we scrubbed it down, we did the tires, we cleaned all the windows. They're all nice. We did a lot of the chrome. Absolutely looks mint. We got the doors open on the back. This door was a lot of fun. It took me about a half an hour. The other door didn't take too long, but I just had to play with it a little bit. We got the whole back of the car all cleaned out. As you guys remember, there was so much cat hair and crud all over this car. The vinyl was a mess. It just looks absolutely amazing now. So much better. I mean, this car is pretty well ready to drive down the road. The only thing that I would do is probably play with the brakes a little bit, take them apart, clean them. But I mean, it's pretty well there. I mean, obviously you want to do your body work and such, but as for mechanical wise, this thing is absolutely running great. Also, what we did is we fixed a couple wires for the starter. I guess like there's a kill switch on here. You guys seen that we fixed the wire, or fixed the line for the fuel pump, so now it's actually sucking off the tank, which is amazing. That's one of the big things that I was worried about. So now literally this car is turnkey. You jump in it, you turn the key, and it's good to go. You drive it wherever you want to drive it. So I think that I'm going to be getting rid of this car. There's a couple other cars I'd like to get and I'd like to pick up, but I don't have the room. It is definitely going to be a cool car for somebody. You know what, I would just throw some bond over whatever needs to be done, give it a quick paint job, and then just, you know, drive for a couple years and enjoy it. Just do some little things, you know, tune up or spark plugs, stuff like that. But what a difference, guys. What a difference. We'll close all the doors, close everything, give you guys a nice look at the wash. But as you can see, there's tons of Bondo in it, you know. But it definitely smoothened out, definitely got rid of all that stuff, and definitely looks much better. So today was a good day. Today was successful, guys. One last good look at it, close all the doors. It is actually a beautiful car. The lines on it with the fastback line and the no post just makes it an absolutely beautiful car. But guys, I think we're all done for today. We're going to be getting rid of it to get some other stuff on the channel, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was actually a fun one for me. I'm glad that I got everything done that I wanted to. If you guys liked it, give me a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. If you guys have any comments or want to leave me any messages or anything like that, let me know how you guys think it looks. I'd love that. That'd be great. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet, what's keeping you? You're going to be seeing cool stuff like this all the time. We're going to be doing little restorations and, you know, little fixes and little cleanups like this. So make sure you subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and make sure you stay tuned for the next episode of Too Many Toys Jake. See you later.